Yo, welcome motherfuckers. That might be a little loud too. Let me turn the mics down. Is that any better? Nope. Check. That's a little better. 10. Fucking Christ. It's been a while. Welcome to Lowered Morals. I'm your host, Keith J. Bergeron. Fuck, man. It has been a while. There's so much to talk about. Jesus Christ. Alright, let me cut this fucking music. Thanks Waiting for a Miracle. Mother May I's the song. They gave us the rights to that music. I appreciate that.
Well, TikTok gives us interaction already.
Yeah.
Hello from Kentucky.
Jesus Christ. All right. Me making dad noises all over this place before the podcast.
Sorry, I had to get that in there.
Yo, you're good. All right. Well, today with me again for the second time, Matt Monahan. He's a TikToker. He's a helps me podcast. He's a race car driver. He's a friend.
We just like to have fun. That's
Yeah.
the name of the game. Just to have fun.
Just having fun, huh? Well, shit. I got so much to talk about since I've been away. First off, sorry I've been away for so long. I had some health issues again. I ended up having open heart surgery to remove the outer layer of my heart called the pericardium so my heart can beat correctly and pump enough blood through my body. So that's the short and narrow of what the fuck happened.
Jesus.
Feeling better.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I've been, on the Facebook and following you, and holy shit.
Yeah, it's
Holy
been
shit.
it's been quite
I
a
don't know how
ride.
else to put that.
The last 2 years have been just fucking ridiculous with health issues and in and out of the hospital and surgeries and just being in pain always. And it fucking sucks, dude. Being in pain always blows. I feel for the people that are out there. Thankfully, I'm not on any painkillers. I'm able to just use marijuana for the pain because the painkiller route is just you're just killing your body. I mean, it might be a temporary solution, but you're just killing yourself slowly.
No, I agree. It's, oh, yeah. No, you said it exactly how it is. Eventually it'll disrupt something in you, whether it be your liver or whatever.
For sure. Yeah, it's just not a good path. I've had many friends go down that path, myself included, with the 11-ish years that I had. Thankfully sober today, not having to worry about that bullshit in my life. Fuck yeah. So
Yeah.
at that point, I'd like to transition over to taking a minute to say this is a pro recovery podcast. I myself, I was just saying that I have 6 years, and it says 3 months here, but that was a little while ago, so I don't fucking know. Anyways, definitely pro marijuana. We just talked about that too. It actually saved my life when it come to getting sober. If I didn't quit this time with just continuing to smoke marijuana, I wouldn't be sober today. I tried fucking everything under the sun: rehab facilities, detox facilities, sober houses, AA, NA. None of that shit worked. I just, needed to smoke some weed.
Needed to smoke some weed. That's all we need is a little weed.
A little weed.
Weed go a long way. Go a long way.
All right. We also advocate the sticks and stones policy. 1 day at a time. Bros before hoes.
Pros.
Weed over speed. I fucked that up the last time you were here and said speed over weed, which was what you wanted to hear, not what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, but see, when I think of speed, I think of different speed over weed.
Oh, no. I was talking about going fast in a car.
All right.
I wasn't talking about, like, methamphetamines.
Oh, sorry.
No, get your mind out of that. We're past the drug point in my life. No.
I wasn't sure where.
No, speed because you're a race car driver.
I figured you said weed over speed. I agree with weed over speed.
Yeah, for sure.
Weed over meth. That's how I saw it.
Definitely weed over meth. I mean, fuck Christ, that's a whole different story. All right.
That was too funny.
So I came up with these two truths and a lie a while ago, and this is just, you came here to wing it, so I'm not expecting, I'm just going to do mine and you can guess mine real quick.
Okay.
And it's solely because I have them written down. Like, I'm literally combining 2 episodes into one because it was a bunch of bullshit, and I wrote a bunch in the hospital. But anyways, so here's my two lies and a truth. Sorry, I fucked it up. So I worked for Howard Dean when he was governor.
Oh boy.
I worked 2 summers for a convicted child molester. I worked as a stripper for 3 months. Your guess. You want me to repeat them?
I hope it's not one of them. That's all I
Okay.
have to say.
It's either I worked for Howard Dean when he was the governor for a summer. I worked 2 summers for a convicted child molester, and I worked as a stripper for 3 months. It's one of those three
Yeah,
is
see, I don't believe the stripper.
true.
But I don't believe the stripper, but I'm really hoping it's not the child molester.
So what are you gonna go with?
Boy, I don't know. I have to say the stripper.
Yeah, and you would be wrong. I was asked at a younger age to be a stripper, but fucking, you look at me now, there's no way. No, I actually worked 2 summers for a convicted child molester.
No, so you were a stripper.
No, I was not.
Yeah, so I got it right. 2 truths and a lie.
You were trying to find
A
the
lie.
truth.
Oh.
There's 2 lies in there, only one truth.
Oh, so you're doing 2 lies and a truth?
Yeah, opposite.
Oh.
Yeah. So no. So
So you didn't let me get to the second one.
what do you mean? I told you all 3 of them. I worked for Howard Dean when he was governor for
So
a
you
summer.
did?
Is one.
So you did.
There's 2 lies
Correct.
and one truth.
So I guessed one lie.
Okay. And then I worked 2 summers for a convicted child molester.
Yeah.
I worked as a stripper for 3 months.
Yeah.
So what statement is true?
Well, you just
There's
told
only
me,
one.
didn't you?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you just told me which one it was.
What one was it?
The second one.
Yeah, okay. You were listening. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Just make
you
sure
didn't-
you're listening.
I didn't get a chance. So, okay. So,
I'll break it down.
no, I didn't get a chance to guess the second lie. I didn't realize you wanted to guess the truth. I was trying to guess the lies. My
No,
bad.
just the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
whatever.
halfway there, right?
I'm gonna explain though, because we didn't know he was a child molester at the time.
Nobody really
Right.
knows, right?
My very first job was working concrete when I was 14. I was doing sidewalks and curbs for a guy that lived down the road, and the first summer I worked for him. Second summer I worked for him, and then got a job at Dick Maz's General Store. And then it was probably like a year later that his wife came to this house and was bawling, and then they found out that the adopted daughter had told people at school, and then it came out true, and he went to jail. Just convicted child molester. Adopted daughter. Pretty sad, dude. Real sad story.
Somebody in this town?
Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna name any
Yeah,
names
no,
or
no,
any
no.
companies or anything, but yeah, that definitely happened. That was part of my life, kind of fucked up. I knew that was a good one that people probably wouldn't get because 2 summers, bro. I could see 1 summer, and then you found out, and then you left. But 2 summers for convicted, but I found out after, so it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah, right. These were the other ones that were bullshit. I'll let you know. This is how much bullshit. Maybe I was just on a bunch of drugs in the hospital, but my 2 lies and a truth were I lettered in what sport for high school. That's fucking stupid as shit. But I mean, I lettered. You know how you like letter in a sport that you get a letterman jacket, all that bullshit.
yeah.
So it's called lettering in a sport. And the 3 sports I wrote down were alpine skiing, ice hockey, or wrestling.
Ice hockey, alpine skiing, or wrestling.
Correct. Just got to find the truth.
You were a wrestler. I don't remember you wrestling.
I don't remember you in high school in general.
I know, me neither. That's the weird part. 'Cause I did wrestle.
What year did you graduate?
05.
That's why. I graduated in 01. I'm an old bastard.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. That makes sense.
Fucking way older than you.
Ice hockey. So ice hockey was big in Colchester. So
Yeah.
I can believe that. Absolutely. What was the first one?
Alpine skiing, ice hockey, or wrestling.
See, I did all those except hockey, so I would believe them all.
Well, you can't,
I guess I
motherfucker.
don't- I
You
guess I
gotta
don't
just
know. I don't
guess.
know. Could be because where we grew up, we had a great alpine or cross country ski team that I was a part of. And we had a great wrestling team that I was a part of. And we had a hockey team.
You
with
were a
like,
no-dick skier?
hey,
That's what we called them.
Well, my mom worked for Coho, the ski company.
Yeah.
So I got to have like all the latest skis and shit. It was fun.
I did alpine racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, downhill skiing. That's
Yeah,
what I let her
that's why
do.
I was like alpine.
And then once you said you cross country skied, I was like, I gotta laugh at that
Yeah.
because we call them no dick skiers instead of Nordic. The dumb motherfuckers that are
Well,
going up the mountain that were riding the chairlift, like they're skiing up it. Look at these fools.
it was
I
it was fun, but I don't.
had fun with it when I was young.
I can believe all of them though. I can believe all of them
Yeah,
for sure.
it made it believable. They're supposed to be like crazy things for this podcast, not just very generic. What did I learn in school? Fucking homo. Anyways, so
It is what it is.
yeah, I have a story to tell.
What you got? What you got?
But I'm gonna see what if you have any stories you want to tell first. But before that, if you had to pick one, yeah, stop fucking hitting my shit. Now it's all crooked. God damn it! It's Matt's fault.
Please go your way.
Yeah, well, it's too late now, motherfucker. Oh yeah, well, let me take this chance to say hi to Black Jesus real quick. Sitting right here, I just didn't want to forget him. I forget him a lot of the times. Well, Black Jesus just chilling here. You know the story behind that, right? It was supposed to be Bob Marley that my parents got taken.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, dumbasses.
I was gonna ask you if I was bald.
Yeah, he's bald as fuck, dude.
No, I just have a wicked receding hairline. Thanks.
You can ask me if I'm bald. I'm definitely balding.
And of course, the guy's name is I'm a troll.
Go figure. Way to fucking get that one right on the
Yeah,
nose, buddy.
bald.
I get trolled sometimes in the Legion of Skanks Facebook page. Sometimes I'll do something stupid and post something in there, and then it's just fucking nothing but trolls.
Wait, let's go back to the name of that. What was it?
The Legion of Skanks podcast is my favorite podcast.
Never heard
Actually, got their logo tattooed on my leg right here.
of it. Look at that.
Yeah.
I think you showed me that, but I never understood what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
like-
claim to be the most offensive podcast on earth. There's three guys. It's Louis J. Gomez, Dave Smith, and Big J. Okerson. They're all comedians in New York City.
Is it pretty rough?
I mean, it can get rough, but not really. It's all in fun and games. Like they say racist shit all the time. They'll like start white power chants, but they're not racist at all. Like their black friends come on all the time. Like it's not. It's just I don't know. It's something they went with. They have I don't want to talk about it. Yeah,
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
I'll look
yeah,
it
yeah.
up. I'll look it up.
I'll just make them sound terrible. They're not that terrible. They're good guys. Literally, real good guys.
Same
I
guy-
think.
the same guy's now asking, "Are you doing a podcast?" No, we're just playing with mics.
Yeah. How's your mic doing? I like mine. We're just playing with it. I think I'm gonna make it into a race car. Hold on. Fucking- All right. Anyways, so any crazy stories about getting wasted that we have? I know that last time we did a podcast, you started telling a story for your second story,
What was
and then I was like, "Okay, we're wrapping up the podcast." Blah
Yeah,
blah
I
blah
remember
blah.
that. What
I
was
don't
it?
know. I don't remember. I'd have to rewatch the episode. I just know that I cut you off, and it was very rude of me.
I don't remember now. I mean, no. I remember getting hammered once, and I'm not going to say where it was, where it had to been. If somebody knows who they are, then fine. But we got so drunk once that we made our way into the embalming room.
Really?
Yes, because
Who owned the funeral home?
yeah, I don't want to get into that. I
Okay,
can't.
so somebody owned a funeral home, and you're in the embalming room, wasted.
Yep, yep. They have kids, and
They have kids. That was real caveman statement. They have kids.
and
Okay, sorry.
so that's pretty much how I wish it was a cooler story than that, but when I got in there, I was gagging and ready to puke my way out of there.
Because of the smell of the embalming fluid?
No, because there's a dead person in front of me.
You wuss.
I
No, I'm
gag.
just joking. I would probably freak out too.
I gag on dog poop.
I gag on smells real
So,
bad.
there's
I've
no-
never changed a diaper in my life. Never will.
Yeah, no kids, no. So that's just a weird story we had. Another cool story is when we went down to Hurricane Katrina, did a bunch of rebuilding houses in Mississippi, Gulfport, and got to go to Bourbon Street. We were 18, I think, 17 or 18. We got to go to Bourbon Street and we go down to the bars. And they're all like, "Oh, you got ID?" Or no, they go, "You got? Are you 21?" Like, no, no, we're not 21. Oh, you got ID at least? We're like, no, no, no ID. Like, all right, you gonna spend money? We're like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're at a strip club. We're 17, 18. Yeah, of course
We're
we're gonna spend
spending
money.
tons of money, brother.
They let us in.
Yeah, I'm
They
sure they
let us
did.
in. Yeah.
That's how it was in Montreal too. Like, well, I mean, I went. I was over 18, but there was tons of people that weren't shouldn't have been in there. There's like 15-year-olds fucking prostitutes. And
Oh yeah.
what was
Yeah.
that? The Shay Diane.
Oh my God.
Bad, bad,
Yeah,
bad.
I've spent. Yeah, no comment.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I haven't, thankfully. I don't pay for that shit. Never have, never will. I did sell it for a little bit, brief period of my life.
I I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I legally plead the fifth on that podcast. I have to.
So, all right, we're gonna get with my story. So, I partied out of college, 2002. Came back, got some bullshit job for a little while, but when I finally got a real job, it was budget rent a car, right there in South Burlington. It was the off location site. Anyways,
The guy that owned it was it Mike?
no. So this was way back in the day. This is like 20 years ago, and
Oh yeah, he
it
doesn't
was
come around
a it
anymore.
was an independently owned licensee, which means that a company in Maine kind of owned the location, and they just paid a percentage to Budget Rent a Car to hold that name and do the rentals using their name. So basically, it was that on one side. We did cars and trucks to rental, like moving trucks and regular cars. And then the other side was a company called Priority Auto, which was just a mechanic shop. And the guy that ran the office was the guy that owned Priority Auto, and he was a real good guy. So I stepped in to run the rental side of it. So that was all good and dandy, and I was, basically just pot back then. Like it was just a lot of pot, and he knew. Like I'd go to my car every hour and just blaze a bowl, and come back probably fucking reeking. He just never said anything. So one day I walk into work and I see this weird, like, all these weird people, and Randy from Priority Auto he goes, "Hey Keith, these are yada yada and yada yada. They're from corporate budget, and
Oh
the
no.
the independent licensee had got out, and corporate came back to take over the office." So at this point, I'm like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" Well, they end up upgrading like a bunch of the stuff inside, and they're out of Connecticut, so they don't want to deal with it, and they just pretty much hand the keys over to me. I was like, all right. When that happened, I had just started doing like a shit ton of blow, a shit ton, and so I managed the budget rent a car. It had the car wash out back. It had like a loft up in the auto, like the auto part where the car lifts were. There was like a loft that went upstairs, and I had it all set up with like 5 different chairs around each other as a session. So like friends would just come visit me at work, and we'd be doing blow in my office. We'd be going upstairs smoking bowls, and then they would all be washing their cars and going through the car wash for free. So like one of the times, one of my good friends, he came to wash his car, and at that time, that was when we were running a bunch of beasters from the Canadian border back here. Not we weren't running it, but we were selling it. So fucking, I need that do 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 because I just lost my place. Um, pot. Oh, so we were selling a lot of it. So, and he was one that was traveling back and forth a lot throughout the state. And he goes to wash his car, and I kid you not, he found like a 18-gram bud that had fell in between, like, and under his seat and shit. Just never checked it because he's a big guy. He's not looking under the seat. But it was just funny. He cleaned his car out, and he's like, "Hey, Keith, look what the fuck I found." And it's just this giant fucking beaster nugget. That shit was funny. But like, it got real crazy towards the end of it. I was just starting to do OxyContin, and then once again, I walked in one day, and there was a strange face behind the desk, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Knew something was going on this time. I wasn't blind. Last time I walked in, and it was kind of blind, and like, "Oh, I don't know, but it could be something good," and it actually was something because I got like massive bonuses and like they gave me a raise and all that shit. But this time was going back to an independent licensee owned by a guy named Bob Lake. and he never ran that type of shit before, and I thought it was cool. Like first thing they did, he gave me one of those Nextel phones that had the direct connect walkie link. You remember those? The little chirpy
Oh,
chirp chirp.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yes. I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, that was the new cool phone at that time. Little did I know that he was going to extend our hours until like midnight, and then opened at like 4 a.m. And he was just, no matter when I was off, always chirping me, waking me up. I'd be working closed at 12:30, and then he's chirping me at 3:45 in the morning. Just didn't give a damn. Like
Huh.
it was fucking crazy. I lasted like 2 months in that environment, and I finally told him to go fuck himself, and I just left. Like I couldn't take it anymore, and it wasn't. Maybe it was a combo of the drugs too, because you get more irritable when you're
Yeah.
not high and shit. But it just like I didn't. I lost all my benefits. I lost all the bonuses. He told me that we could talk about pay like 3 months after 3 months went by, which means he dropped me back down to like $10 an hour when I was making like 15,
Hmm.
plus all the incentives. And I didn't have insurance through him, and I had it through budget. So after like 2 months, I was just like, fuck this. Like I lost everything for this guy just to walk all over me and take advantage of me and treat me like a piece. Like he just wasn't nice, and I was
Hmm.
doing all that shit. But like my heydays, that was my favorite job when it was corporate and it was just me running that place. I had so much fun at work. Like going into work wasn't a chore. We partied all night, and then I just did that snap of coke in the morning, start my day off, and we went all day. Like it was just stupid, but it was fun. I'm glad that I don't do that shit anymore. But
Right,
when I
right.
reminisce about those days of work, those were my favorite days.
Huh. Yeah, I never worked for corporate.
Yeah.
I wasn't a corporate guy, but I remember uh, when I got out of the roundabout in Winooski.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know the roundabout.
I put
You
in
know where they have the crosswalks in a roundabout.
all but all but two of those buildings. I put in every window and door in that place,
Oh, no wonder they all leak.
and not
No,
not
just
one leak.
joking.
And
He's good at cocking.
that well, they don't call me goat balls for nothing. No. That whole project was fueled on cocaine by far. It was like 14, 16-hour days putting windows and doors in. And how much can we do?
Yeah, dude, if America only knew how much drugs are consumed while any construction's going on, and I don't care what type of construction, they'd be shocked.
Oh yeah.
Shocked. They're like, oh, this guy, he's the best. He gets the
Well, they
carpet in,
said,
he gets it in like 4 hours. A normal guy would take him 8. And I'm like, yeah, because he's on meth.
don't they say that Miami was built on cocaine?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was all the cigarette boats that were running that get dropped from Cuba, right? I think it'd come in from Cuba, and then it'd get dropped somewhere, and then the cigarette boats would go and run and get it
Yeah, basically,
and
basically,
could
yeah.
bring it back to Florida. It was like the hate. I watched a documentary on it. Was it the Cocaine Cowboys? Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. In
There's a
fact, I
good
made
one.
it. I made a reference to it on Facebook the other day because somebody had posted a picture of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Hulk Hogan all flexing together when they were a tag team, and they're like, "Name this tag team duo with only wrong answers." And I was like, "The original Cocaine Cowboys." Yeah, those
That's
wrestlers.
literally what they looked like too back then. Literally.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. They definitely had the flow in the back, and those '80s sunglasses.
I know if
Sweet.
they love it, the employers, it's nuts. I know if they love it. I'm not even sure what that is.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, those are the type of fans that you have.
What up, Toby?
Yeah. What up, Toby?
Toby don't like that. That's his name.
Yeah.
Toby don't like that.
Too hot for Toby.
Too hot.
Too hot.
Yeah, I've got actually a good buddy. If you ever look up podcasts, look up ESPN did it. It was called Pin Kings, and there's a story on a guy, the DEA agent and the gentleman Alex DeCubis. Alex DeCubis was the cocaine cowboy per se, and the DEA agent was the DEA agent, but they had wrestled in college and high school together. Then went on their own separate ways, and then the DEA agent ended up busting the guy 20 years later for cocaine. When the guy got out of jail, they end up reconnecting again, and now they coach high school wrestling together. But it's a wicked cool story about basically the cocaine cowboys getting busted, and now
I
literally
had I
working in
had
the
this
AA.
this high school science teacher that I was trying to do my own thing, and I guess he got cancer and needed money, so he came to me, and we started going out in the Winnebago, out in the desert, and we took all our clothes off and just our underwear, and we made meth, and we made the
What
the
the fuck?
best blue meth that any. Oh wait, that was Breaking Bad. My bad. That
Yeah.
wasn't me. That
Okay.
wasn't me at all. That was Breaking Bad, the
Jesus.
TV show.
If you were to say like, "Oh, we went out in the Winnebago and in the ice on Lake Champlain," I would believe you.
And blew each other.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, that definitely happened. That's a Keith story. Truth, truth, truth.
Oh Lord. That's some. No, I'm not, I don't. I don't even want to talk about it. But that's an interesting process. I was watching one of those shows on Vice or
No, but
something.
this one time, I got
This one
these
time in
these
base camp.
these airplanes. We're flying down to Mexico. We were getting tons and tons of marijuana until I got caught and I went to jail. And somebody educated me in cocaine, and I could just go do that. And that's when I met Pablo.
Pablo.
Oh wait, that was the movie Blow. Fuck. I don't know. I'll stop. I thought it was funny.
You're gonna get me kicked off of TikTok.
Why?
No,
You can't say blow?
can't say none of that.
None of that.
No, I was wondering how this would go.
It's about what I
I'm
expected.
pretty sure the algorithm doesn't like it.
Hence why Keith J. Bergeron is not on TikTok.
I've got like I got 3 people on there right now.
They're like, who is this
Some
other guy,
said-
Matt? Talk about racing.
Editor said brisk. I don't know what brisk is, but my wife's watching.
Hello.
Hello, wife.
So, did you want to talk a little bit about your business? I mean,
Oh, yeah. Where do I start?
I forgot that you were that goat balls deep into it until I saw you at the fair, and then I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I own part of a company out in Boston, um, which owns LA Green Health, Boston Green Health, Miami Green Health's coming up now, but it been on this roller coaster ride with them for sure, and I found that doing shows and fairs, it's not really that cool, but whatever. We'll talk about it for a second. I do shows and fairs. Found that those do more money than sitting in a retail store. So I
Right.
like,
So you're talking about that you're selling CBD stuff, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yep,
basically.
yep,
So
yep.
what type of CBD stuff do you sell?
Anything and everything. You name it. From
You talking like
salves, pain
patches? You
creams.
talking like
We've got
oils?
pet stuff. We've got all the
Lube.
tinctures. No lube. No.
They do have lube though.
They do. They
Yeah,
do.
I was just
don't-
wondering.
I'm not sure I'd want to use that, but
That's not what your old lady said, but continue.
you don't. If you're good at it, you don't need lube.
Hmm.
But, well, I'll just leave it at that.
Maybe if the lights are off. She told me if you want to leave the lights on.
Hey, you can make jokes all you want. I ain't never used a stitch of lube in my life. It never bound up.
Me neither.
Next subject.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Next subject.
So yeah, so we've got that. I've got a couple websites, noverbeauty.com. We sell all sorts of stuff, subscriptions, and you get boxes and monthly subscriptions. And T-shirts like the one I'm wearing.
Nice.
Made those. Sold quite a few of those. Just trying to make a buck. Trying to make a buck.
That's cool, man.
Legitimate buck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I work for it. I try. I work hard.
And it's not rinky dink. Like it's legitimate. When you go to any of these trade shows, or fairs, or anything, you walk in and it's like legitimate booths, and it's not just a booth. Like you have booths, plural.
Yep, yep. No, I learned that a little while ago. I would go to a show, and there would be 10 of us CBD guys, 10 of us, and they would stick them side by side if they could, and they all had like a foldable table with a cloth over it. Everybody, every single one of them. There was no differentiating. I said, we all have the same shit. We all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to help people. So I brought in 2 glass retail cases and noticed I was getting way more hits than everybody else because I just looked
More professional.
right. And we're A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. I mean, we're there. We're doing the right thing, you know.
Hmm.
So it's good. I don't know any other CBD companies that are A+ rated with Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, I'm not too much into that world. I do know that it helps a lot of people,
Yep. It's
especially the people with seizures. Like
yep.
I've heard the results with especially the younger kids that are having multiple seizures a day.
Well,
With
that's kind of how the big boom started.
yeah,
You heard of Charlotte's Web or
yeah, I
Charlotte's?
watched that movie
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Well, aside for that,
That's a nice pig.
Charlotte. What is it called? Charlotte's. I forget what it's called now. It's been. Anyways, it was a little girl that was like 6, 7 years old that was having 100+ seizures a week,
Hmm.
and the couple brothers called.
Jesus, who doesn't turn their phone on mute during a podcast? Oh wait, this kid
Daddy.
who's
I don't know who
popular.
Daddy
I
is.
am. What'd you say? Your daddy? I apologize for that shit. Ryan Kilpeck, you're in trouble. Fucking text me during the
No, I
podcast.
don't even know. Yeah, I got a text message.
Yeah, but you were smart enough to put it on silent, right? Because we didn't hear
Yeah,
it through fucking everything.
I don't put my phone. My phone's always on silent. So if you can't get a hold of me, I'm sorry. My phone's always on silent.
I need my phone for work, so.
Me too, but it's always on silent.
And that's how much he cares about his customers. No, just.
Well, so I have a phone. I have another separate phone line for customers.
Yeah.
Like I'm legit. Like
I know,
I'm not like
I know you. I was just
you
giving you
know.
shit.
No, I know.
I
I
was
know.
just giving you shit.
I try to be as.
If you weren't legit and I thought you were ranky dank, I wouldn't have brought it up on my podcast because it would have
No,
been
I
more of a
appreciate it.
joke.
I appreciate it. No, and that's just what it is. I want the retail market. We all see what's coming up next year. I want the retail market.
No,
So
I don't. Actually,
the
I don't do a lot of the news or any of that shit. Once in a great while, I'll watch like the 6 o'clock, more like world news than
so
local. So what's happening?
this time
Or
next year
hopefully
will be all retail in Vermont. You'll be able to walk into a store and buy whatever you want. That's what's
for actual marijuana, like
correct.
THC.
Yep. This time
So
next year.
so there's going to be dispensaries. Like,
Yep. Yep.
hmm,
And I'm hoping to have one. So I'm trying to show a good image, and I just had to interact with the cops a couple weeks ago. Had the liquor control board, all that fun jazz. They gave me the okay. They're no big deal, but I try to make it look like I'm professional, so that when the retail market comes, they got to make a decision. Who are we going to get? Oh, this guy, has done it
right,
right.
right. You have experience. It's legit.
That's
You've
what I'm
been running a
hoping.
legal business.
Yeah.
Right, right. So now, how does it work when it comes to, all right, say we've made the transition, but now we need the product in the store. So is it something that you personally set up, like have the permits and all that to grow legally, and you set up like a house or something that you're producing for your own store, or are you like
So
importing it from people?
right now, as of today, there's no real set what's going to happen.
Right.
We're still in the mix of
But
it.
like, what would be the idea?
The ideal would be growers get a license 6 months before retail.
Right. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Because you can
That's
do
ideal.
auto flowers in like 3.
You
You
can
could
do
do a full cycle in
you
6.
can do a full cycle in 6.
Right, right.
So that would be ideal, so that we're ready for it. I think that's the way it's going to go. I'm not sure. We'll see. It's still up in the air.
That really interests me solely because I mean I've given my whack at the last 2 summers of growing my own marijuana and have done fairly good and even better this year. And with me being laid up with my muscle, my stomach issue, that my top 2 abs never came back after my first surgery. I can't like really work right now. I'm so fucking bored, and that if that was something that I could, get the permits to do and then make it a career, because I've heard that like in that when you're growing anything in the marijuana industries, the like base salary is like 150 to like $200,000 a year. And I don't know the truths behind that. It was just articles that I've read about it, and you don't know because you
It's
don't
like
know the market.
it's no different than any industry. It doesn't matter. The better you are at what you do, the more money you're going to make. Period.
Right, but I mean, it's
I'll tell you.
foreseeable future that somebody living in this state
Sure.
would be able to get a license and set up a house
Sure.
that they're growing,
Sure.
and they're selling their crop legally to a dispensary, who is then turning it over to the people legally.
Here's what's going to happen, and I just saw it happen in the hemp industry in Vermont. What's going to happen is people are going to go out and grow outdoor, and they're going to grow a bunch outdoor, and they're going to try to sell it, and nobody's going to buy it.
Right, because people that don't understand
Have
marijuana,
you ever been into a dispensary and seen outdoor?
I've never been into a dispensary,
I've been
but
into
I would
multiple.
never buy outdoor
Correct.
myself. Like
Correct.
I can't even sell my outdoor
Correct.
that I grow.
Correct.
I make butter and stuff
Correct.
with it
So that's what I'm getting at is that's what happened in the hemp industry. They grew acres and acres and acres
of hemp
of
outside.
hemp outside, and it was trash. I mean, the most you could do was put into edibles and cartridges and
Right.
that sort of thing. But you have to grow a lot of it, and then it's becoming cheap. So you have to be able to just throw it out there, let it water itself, and be done with it. Now, you want to sell to a retail market, you're going to have to invest money in lights,
Right,
and
right.
you're going
It's
to have
got
to
to
go
be an
indoor.
indoor
Oh yeah,
operation, and it's a talent. Like it's a skill set that you gain from grow after grow after
right.
grow after
Oh yeah,
grow after grow until you've perfected something that is going to be deemable. Oh, everybody wants to buy this. This is the best weed in the dispensary. Like if you're looking to get fucking rocked without the munchies and not tired, this is the strain. That's something that's
correct.
been perfected from grow after grow after grow. They didn't just pop seeds, throw it under a light, and fucking wing it and get a product that's that good. Because you can make some pretty disgusting indoor if you don't know what you're doing. Uh,
Yeah.
y'all good TikTok over there?
I don't know. I think what happened was we have lost the algorithm for now.
Feed went down. My
No,
internet shitty.
no. What we're talking about. TikTok doesn't like it. Nobody has.
Marijuana,
Yeah, we refer to it as broccoli on the TikTok world.
flour.
Yeah,
Can
I
you say
know.
flour?
It is what it is.
I
But
just
you have to
it's so
follow the
stupid.
rules to get people.
It's so stupid because it's something that should have never been illegal in the first place.
Well, yeah, it is. Not my sandbox. How
Yeah,
about
I
that?
get you. I get you.
It's hard to explain. TikTok's a funny thing. That's all I gotta say.
I like that it let me do my budget rent a car story, but we
We
start
had
talking
we
about
had good viewers then.
legalizing flour, and
Actually, matter of fact,
you get bumped off TikTok.
let me shut that down.
Shut her
Let's see
down,
where we start.
restart that bitch.
Yeah, see, we started talking about drugs. I was cooking eggs and bacon this morning for 45 minutes, and I had 800 viewers. We started talking about
800 viewers for eggs and bacon.
drugs, and it dropped down to 764 now. I was worried about that, of
Every
course.
single race fan that follows Matt is looking at that eggs and bacon and touching themselves. You can't say that either, Keith.
So let's try it again. See what
All
happens.
right, all right. So what's been up in the life of Matt Monahan? Like just normal shit.
Racing.
Racing, like building your car's all done. You've been physically racing. You're
Um,
leading the points. You're
one of the gentlemen I help out down. I don't race dirt, but I help out down dirt. One of the gentlemen I help
that's
out
the
down
Devil's
there.
Bowl.
Yep. Uh, he won the championship this year, and the other gentleman I helped down there took second or third in points. We're headed to New Jersey in a couple weeks, and then Arkansas. We're
Damn,
getting
you're getting around.
10,000 and 30,000 to win.
Cool. Now, what kind of car do you run?
They're Monte Carlo, basically G body style Monte Carlos.
Cool. What are you pushing for, like horsepower?
350 horse, 375 foot-pounds torque.
Yeah, I don't know too much. I watch Street Outlaws, and they have ridiculous amount of horsepower, but they're also only going an eighth of a mile. They're not going around a track.
So they're insane. So I've been down to Epping. They've come down twice now for the Street Outlaws in 19 and 2021.
hmm
Badass.
That's
Badass.
the next season that's going to be airing. Right now, it's Street Outlaws Memphis, and then right after Memphis finishes, it's like October, mid October is going to be the first No Prep Kings that's aired on TV. I'm super excited. I got my father into it like a year ago, so he's been watching right through, but hasn't seen a No Preps King event yet.
Well, if you wanted to get spoiled, you could go on my live or on my TikTok.
Yeah,
You can see who wins.
I don't want to know. Yeah, please ruin it for me.
I've already got it recorded.
Please ruin it for me.
I-
We're so bad. Like we don't. It's fucking ridiculous when you watch it on TV. Sometimes it's like 2-3 hours. Like the first show of the season, but it's all commercials. So my dad and I finally are like, fuck that. We'll watch it the next day or like 2 days later, and we could fast forward through it. But now it seems like the show's back picking up steam, like with viewer wise, because now Comcast will say, sorry, you can't fast forward through this. Like if you went to a Family Guy, you can't fast forward through that shit. But if you went to like a TNT show that nobody watches and you're
Just
watching
record
it,
it. Just DVR it.
yeah, and you could just fucking fast forward that shit
Yeah.
because the commercials are like not paying that extra to.
Oh, I should.
But yeah, I should record
I'll
it. That's
teach you a
better.
cheat. Teach you a cheat. You know how they got the page up, page down button?
Hmm.
Hit page up and then rewind it back. You can't fast forward it, but you can rewind it and you can page up.
Hmm. Yeah, I never tried that. That's a good idea.
It works. But you have to, you kind of fast forward it through what you want to see, but you just kind of.
So the No Prep Kings that you saw Ryan Martin's new car, the white one.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That's the season coming
I've
up.
got a I've got a video on there. I don't of him burning out. I didn't get him racing, but I got him burning out in that car because he did like
Yeah, maybe you'll be one of the fans that are going around when like, you're getting signed from Chucky and.
no, we were 2019. I paid to have all the VIP and the blah blah blah, and you could see me on TV in 2019 show, but you won't see me on this one because I paid the $39 to get
Yeah,
regular.
just for the. Where was that? New Hampshire, right?
Yeah,
I-
a couple hours away. Not that bad.
If you do that the next time that they do that there, I want to go.
I'm definitely going next year. Absolutely,
I want to go.
absolutely. Yeah. This year Jesse went. Jesse and
Yeah.
Caitlin went. Yeah,
Cool.
it was fun.
That's not where they drive their cars too. Do the stupid.
No, see, we went.
Yeah, that's
I went with him to Pennsylvania.
for that.
Yeah, because he didn't have anybody going. I said, "Well, shit, I'll go up with you." I got some cool videos on TikTok there too. We were feeding deer out the back door and shit with the place we were staying.
Hmm.
I went up there and his car was throwing check engine lights, and I got on the tuning app and I started playing with it. Finally, we got it to boot, and he got to actually race it. He fucked up by downloading what he thought was a tune was just an email. So the car can't.
It's not fucking Knight Rider.
So so we
Michael,
messed.
this does not compute.
So we messed. He messed that up originally, but we got to work and we got I don't know 500 horse out of it. Did 140 or something in just over a quarter mile rolling drag. It was
Yeah.
fun. It was a blast.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something cool to go down to and watch, but to invest money into the car like Jesse's invested a little bit. He hasn't invested a ton, but just to well, I don't know the half of it,
Yeah.
but like unless you're gonna dedicate and really, but you can't really have a family and all that shit unless you're sponsored or you're like the Street Outlaws guys that can do it for a living because Discovery Channel's still paying, like all that type of shit. Like Jesse's never gonna be able to just put money into his car and race.
Um,
I,
he that boy's got some money.
I'm sure he does, but I don't think that there's
He doesn't
a
have-
shit ton of money to put into that car now. He's having a kid. Like you're growing up. You know.
He'll be all right.
I'm just saying that. Does he have twin turbos in that now?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, but
he should get a taken out.
what? Just when he's driving around.
He should have a take and do one big turbo versus two little turbos is better. But the
Now, how
beauty-
would you get like a car like that?
I know it
on-
sounds weird.
Sorry.
I know that sounds weird, but the way they're done on a twin turbo on those cars in particular, the one turbo spools up at like I don't know the exact number. One turbo spools up at 1,500 RPM. The second turbo spools up at like 4,000 RPM. And the reason it does that is because it picks up the lag from 1,500 to 4,000.
Yeah, you're talking above my head when it comes to shit like that.
When you have a single turbo, you don't have that gap between 1,500 and 4,000. You can tune that turbo to just be on go. Does that make sense? We have
So you
one-
wouldn't have to build the boost; it just does it automatic. Is that what you're saying?
You don't have you don't have as much anti-lag. You don't have as much spool up. It's
Okay.
already spooled up. Your turbo's already working for you as you're dialing it in. With a twin turbo setup,
You have to sit there and wait and spool.
not necessarily weight, but it doesn't give you full spool until you're up over 4,000 RPM,
Okay.
5,000 RPM, whatever the number It sounds weird, but
So, well, how would you go about a car like his? Because you see the street outlaws guys, they're racing on alcohol. That's a totally different beast, right? You'd have to have 100% different setup, or no,
um,
like engine wise.
not necessarily. You could burn alcohol. You'd have to have like bigger injectors. You could get away with it. I mean, they have methanol injected now. Um,
And that will make it combust harder, faster, or something like that.
yeah, theoretically, it's a hotter, cleaner burn.
Hmm.
It's like E85. A lot of guys are running E85 and E90 right now. Ethanol is closest to alcohol, and it creates more faster, cleaner burn than 110 race fuel.
Now you can run nitrous too with if you have turbos. Can you also run? You can also run nitrous, can't you?
Sure.
Yeah, I thought you
I
could
don't
because
see
I
why
think
not.
I think they are those
Yeah.
guys like Kai Kelly and
Yeah.
his girl. I can't think of her name right now. But
Liz.
yeah, Lizzie Musi.
Yeah. That's right.
They're running both. They got like
I don't know enough about nitrous.
nine kits of nitrous and
Yeah.
I don't know if they're big blowers or if they're turbos. I don't remember their cars, but they're crazy.
I don't know enough about nitrous
Yeah, I
to
don't
say
know.
one way or the
I
other.
just know that when I first watched Street Outlaws, when they first started, everybody was on nitrous. Like they didn't, the turbos hadn't even come into play in that type of racing yet. In their world, anyway. Street.
And they were running small tires, and yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
ish. I don't. I don't
evolved.
think. I don't think they were all small tire.
Majority of
I'm
them
pretty
were.
sure Big Chief had big tire.
Few of them.
Sean still had big tire.
I have to look back, but I'm pretty sure that the Murder Nova started off in a small tire car.
Maybe.
I could be wrong. I don't follow those.
Flip. That was his name, right? With the Elko original.
Oh, yep,
He, I think that was originally small tire.
yep.
Before Kamikaze Chris started driving it after Flip passed away.
I wonder what happened. Boosted. What happened to his car? I don't see him. I don't watch the show anymore.
So Boosted rebuilt that red one, right? It's a
Yeah, I
red
thought he had a
Mustang.
yellow one.
He had a yellow Mustang originally. That thing was too slow to keep. It was a small tire car, too slow to keep up with the list. So he went off the list for a while, and then he started building a newer red Mustang, I think. But this, not Memphis. Memphis is what's going on right now. Street All is Memphis, so it's JJ the boss and his crew. Prior to that, it was fastest 20 in America. So they did, instead of a top 10 list in Oklahoma, they did top 20 in America. And they had Birdman driving Boosted's car because Boosted doesn't know how to drive or something. I don't know. No, I don't know what's going on. I just know that he was doing it, and I think that Boosted was going to take well advantage of Birdman's knowledge and his crew's knowledge to try to get his car working because he had tried and tried and tried to get that car working, and it was not doing shit. And Birdman got it kind of figured out towards the end of the season, but still ended like way low, like 18th or 19th or some shit like that in the top 20.
I don't remember that. Well,
I don't stop watching it. Like it's just Street Outlaws never stops. So like once a season ends for the show, a new one begins the next week.
oh, thank you for the present.
But yeah, I'm highly addicted to that show.
Much appreciated. Sent present for us.
But yeah, so that's enough Street Outlaws talk. My life, what's going on is I just got back into pool. Just got back. I made my own APA team to play amateur pool again. I'm captaining it.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
It's going really well.
Are you gonna go to Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not
Are
guaranteed,
you
but
that? Are you
yeah.
that, like,
I'm pretty fucking confident in this team, bro. Like,
okay.
these are the T-shirts. Lowered Morals is our team name. I don't know where I got that from. We do have sweet last
Washer
names.
dryer going or something?
It's the fan. And maybe, probably, in the other room.
I'm getting weird noises.
Yeah, it could be.
Spin cycle. Sorry about that. All of a sudden I could hear
Matt just really wanted to go run and sit on it. He's like, every time I feel that spin cycle.
I got this side off. I got this side off.
Yeah, see, I couldn't
So
hear
all of a
it.
sudden I could hear.
And through the podcast, they won't be able to hear it either because of that noise dampener thing.
Oh, yep, yep.
But sorry, TikTok. you got to deal with the dryer or washer. Sorry,
Cool.
washer.
There ain't nobody watching.
So,
We
anyways,
tried to change up the subject.
yeah, they just don't like me. It's a long podcast.
Yeah.
It's not a TikTok, like 60-second clip.
If we went like live every week, we could build up a audience.
Yeah,
You gotta be on top of it. You have to do 5, 6 videos a day.
I'm not doing five. Oh, for TikTok, I'm talking for
In
podcasts.
general,
One a week.
yeah,
1 a week for
I
podcasts.
still think it should be like 2 or 3 a week for pod. When you're getting started,
Yeah.
just to build followers.
I really would love to have a co-host for this podcast to help, help me out with the workload and coming up with shit and like what we're gonna do for cameras and how we're posting it on YouTube and because I'm pretty much only at YouTube. I know that you can pay fees to get it to be posted everywhere else, but like
No, you
when
just
it really comes
post
down to it,
yourself.
like I don't know how to edit. I'm fucking stupid. Like, and I'm not like willing to dick around with it. I need somebody that's gonna do that for me. I will pay them handsomely in weed. Oh wait, in broccoli. I need a producer bad. Anybody that's good with computers.
I wish I had time. I'd offer you time.
Yeah,
I've got
but
nothing for you though. I don't. I have to do what I can to edit my videos. I use
my shit really doesn't need to be edited. It's just like the problem that comes down to it is sound for people, and it's a stupid fucking mixer that I bought. It's ghetto, and it only has sound for both of us at once. So if I talk louder than you talk, there's no adjusting that shit. It's fucking bonkers.
that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, no, well, maybe I don't make sense. Maybe I'm just stupid. But
Isn't there 2 mics?
two mics go into this, and one cord goes into the computer. So when it goes into this program, it comes up just as the mixer. You don't actually have the mics to adjust individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rock on. That
So
doesn't-
I bought this mixer.
You can't even see me talking on there.
Yeah, that's because you don't talk. You don't eat the mic like me. If you eat the mic, you'll see.
You can't see nothing. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not eating the mic.
Yeah. That's why the sound will be off.
You can eat the mic.
Yeah.
What up, TikTok?
Yeah. What up, TikTok? So, anyways, yeah. So the pool league that's been going pretty good.
Going to Vegas.
I've been trying to get my father to play APA since I started. So for like 5 years,
I wish
and
I
I
had time.
finally broke him down, and he's playing this year.
I wish I had time. I'd come down and try.
Yeah, I got all my buddies. Everybody's good. I have confidence in everybody, and we
Vegas.
right after the first week we were in first place, and then last night we won 11-2, which is gonna just distance ourselves from all the other teams a little further in first. So as long as we keep up that.
Are you playing at that one in South Burlington?
Yeah, Vermont Pool Bar. Yeah, and it's 35 San Remo's Drive, South
Is
Burlington.
that the one where the Asian lady owns?
Yes, yes, and partners, but it's not Van Fans anymore. That you're talking about Van.
I just remember.
She
yeah.
owns it, and there's some other people that are invested in the company. But for all intents purposes, yes, she's the owner of Vermont Pool Bar, formerly Van Fans.
Isn't she good?
She is very good. Yeah,
that's what I heard.
absolutely.
Yep.
Very, very good. And there's a lot of good shooters in league, but it's not even about, you don't have to be amazing to play league, because there's a handicap. It's a team. You play 5 people a night, and based on your skill level, which is 2 being the worst, 7 being the best, you can only play 23 points. So each person counts as whatever they're. So I'm a 5. So if I'm a 5, you're a 5, and I have 2 other 5s, that's 20 points. I'd need to have a 3 or lower to stay under handicap to play. So if I didn't have that and it was like 4 5s and a 4, we can't play. We can play 4 matches and forfeit the last one. So that's where the hand. So you need the players that aren't like the people that are going to run a table out. They just want to play for fun because they like playing pool, but they're not. They haven't invested the amount of hours like somebody that like me or better than me have to become the higher level skilled players. But it's fun as hell, man. So if you like pool,
You lost me. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah.
The
so
point.
Handicaps
handicaps and shit. So everybody that comes in, if you've never played, you start as a 3. and then you'll go up and down, fluctuating based on how you play in your match. You don't just play one game against a person; it's a match. So, say you came in as a 3, and I'm a 5, and you're going to play me. The race would be race meaning the match. You'd have to win 2 games to win. I'd have to win 4. So if you get within 1 game of winning, that's called being on the hill. You get 1 point for that. So if you just won 1 game against me, you're scoring a point for your team. 2 games against me, you're scoring 2 points for the team. If you win 2 games against me and I don't win a single game, 3 points.
Oh,
Yeah, buddy. So yeah, I mean it's
I guess I
hard.
never realized that that's what pool is about. I never realized that's what it was.
That's what team pool is about. If you get into like the singles that you'll see, like the U.S. Open, the Moscone Cup is a team event that happens once a year. But basically, those professional players have what they call a Fargo rating, and that's a percentage rating of how good you are. Um,
Argo?
if I had a Fargo rating, it'd probably be like high 300. Like
Based
the
on
professional pool players are
one
like
to
922.
like 1 to 1,000.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I just know that I suck, and professional pool players are around 9 something, 900 something.
I'd be curious to look that up now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a thing going on at Vermont Pool and Bar back in the day before COVID, and this stupid pandemic happened. That there was like a leaderboard of singles that we'd play, and then the more you played that, you'll develop the Fargo rating. But it just wasn't there long enough for everybody to
Hmm.
develop a rating yet. And then if you play the King of Pubs, which is usually in St. Johnsbury, the Moose Lodge, I think. Yeah, that's all Fargo rating stuff.
Where's like, where does most is like Vegas like the hub of pool playing?
Vegas is the hub of a lot of sports, most in general. Because uh, they just all go out there for everything. I imagine, but for this league in general, yes, the big tournaments are in Vegas. But you'll have UFC big fights are in Vegas, boxing's big, in Vegas, like that professional atmosphere.
We have like what, one pool hall here? Do we have? I mean, we have bars. I get that.
We have one pool hall, I believe, in the state of Vermont, to my knowledge, and then there's a bunch of bars and then private, like the Elks Club and the Moose Lodge and all that. Those private
Hmm.
type clubs that you pay dues, um, those will host tournaments too. But for an actual pool hall, yeah, Vermont Pool and Bar is it. Um, they are dying for customers. They need, the pool community to really support them because being a bar and then a pool playing establishment, this pandemic hit them harder than most solely due to pool players are fucking stubborn. We don't want to wear masks while we shoot. Basically, anything that could take our attention, our 100% concentration away from the shot that we're shooting, we don't want to deal with. Most of us have coped with it. I didn't do it the first session because I didn't want to deal with that shit. And then there was all these rules and regulations of how many people could be inside, and you could only have this and that for your team. But it's getting better, and I just want businesses like that got hit hard, that had to be closed forever. Even when the real bars opened back up, they still couldn't open because it was the pool hall.
They wouldn't give me any money. They wouldn't give me any money because I play with canvas.
Yeah, see, it's just
It sucks.
I just can't wait until the government can just legalize that and stop. Just make your dime off that. Tax
Literally
it. Jesus.
had to fire everybody and was like done with
At that point.
it. Yeah, I didn't have a choice. Nobody was doing anything.
Yeah, that's too bad. The pandemic hit a lot of people hard.
And now,
I thankfully, unthankfully, unfortunately, whatever, was laid up long before all that stuff happened. So like I was laughing at the people after the first month of the pandemic. They were like, "I'm so bored. I can't take this." And I was like, "Fuck you." You know how much longer I've been sitting here? But
no, it's hit a lot of people hard. Fortunately for me, um, online online was decent. We got away with doing a little bit of online and making a mortgage payment kind of thing.
yeah.
It wasn't anything great to survive. But yeah, they wouldn't give me anything. As a matter of fact, they told me I had unpaid child support, and I've never had a kid.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's very
I was
interesting.
like, I'm done.
Where was that money going to go to? Curious. You know? Say that you were
I
stupid and you just paid bills and you didn't even read it. Where would that money go?
had at that point I was like, no, you know what? Sorry,
Yeah, that meter's not moving.
sorry, it was a little low.
Yeah, that fucker right in your mouth.
So it was, yeah. So once they said, hey, you like cannabis, we don't like you. You have unpaid child support, even though you don't have kids. I said, okay, go pound sand. I'll figure it out. And I don't think they really liked it. They, well, yeah.
Now,
I
do
won't
you
get into
only
it.
do that now? You don't work at you used to work at Hazlitt's, right?
Yep, yep.
Do you not work there anymore?
No, no. I got sick of working there.
Yeah.
They, yeah. There's other reasons for that. So,
Yeah, my buddy TJ didn't last there long.
I was there
They
for
pushed him out.
12, 13 years. I was there for a while, but my uncle-in-law or uncle, whatever the hell you want to call him, became the general manager, and he would call me on like weekends and text me like, "Hey, you're gonna do this on Monday or Tuesday." Be like, "Hey, leave me the fuck alone." And new HR came in. We used to not pay for health insurance. Then we sell it. Then we had started to have paid health insurance, and it just you saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah, what was to come? I mean, that's like IBM going to Global Foundries and all the shit that everybody lost, all those little perks that you
Yep.
forgot that you got, because you're just like, work sucks. But then another company takes over, and you're like, wait a minute. I used to get, like, if I showed up all month, I'd get a free 12-hour day of vacation. What happened to that? That's gone. What happened to all the other, what happened to all the employees that used to work here? Why am I working so fucking hard?
Why am I the only idiot left?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so it was one of those deals, and I got done there, and yeah, went into the hemp industry and got screwed around a bunch, lost a lot of money, and climbed my way back up to where I am now.
You're probably way happier, though, than you were at Hazlitt's, or no?
Life was a lot easier at Hazlet. All I had to do was
Hazlitt's.
show up. I had to show
Yeah,
up,
and the
work, and go home.
paycheck just came and came.
Yep.
You didn't have to worry about.
But I enjoy working 80 hours a week for myself than I do 40 hours for somebody else.
Yeah, and you hear that quite frequently of the people that work for themselves, that say they'll work the 80 any day of the week.
Yep.
And I get that, and that's what I'd love to be able to work for myself, and not have to just deal with the amount of money I get from the insurance policy that I thankfully took, so I'm still getting paid.
I'd like to say it's easy, but if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not
My
by any means. I'm no millionaire.
my biggest thing is that I would need somebody to do the books for me. Like, I can put in the work, but when it comes to like doing all that shit,
It's easy now.
I just don't have the time. Like, I don't. When
Between
I'm done, when I say I'm done working, I want to be done working.
between Square and QuickBooks, yeah, it's a click of a mouse and your taxes are done. Like you don't have to like go through anything. It's all digital. I'll show you.
Hmm.
If you ever want to know, just let me know.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's easy.
I gotta, I
They
gotta, I
literally
gotta, I gotta make money for.
they literally send you the tax forms and you sign off on them. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to mess with nothing. And you just file them, and now you can have somebody that has millions and millions of deductions and blah 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 blah. I don't deal with it. Whatever. What do I owe? Okay, let's get done with this. Yeah. Usually it's about $300 a year I owe.
Yeah, I've never owed. I probably will. I don't know how it's gonna
No,
work
you
this
won't.
year.
You
It's
won't.
gonna be so fucked up. I don't even know.
At some point, everybody's gonna owe something. I can't imagine they're just gonna hand out money for free.
Yeah, I mean, I never got any of that extra money. I wish I did. The extra six and all that shit.
I never got any of it.
Yeah.
I never got the 1,500, the 1,800. I never got any.
Oh,
of
I
that.
got those payments. I will say that was nice.
Because I kept doing extensions on my taxes because I went through a bunch of bullshit in 2020 or 2019, and I kept doing extension because I had to come up more paperwork. They never gave me the money. Never seen it to this day. Don't know what happened to it. Maybe I'll get it back in taxes this year. I don't know. Never got it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's over my head.
Yeah, way above my pay grade. I'll just keep hustling, try to make $1.
So when I was like, let's see, I had to have been like seventh grade, maybe sixth grade. Let's see, my brother's 3 years older than me. I think he was a freshman. So okay, so I was in sixth grade,
Okay.
right? And my parents used to go out. I don't know where they used to go. I can't remember, but they would pay my brother and me $10 a night if we didn't cause any trouble or there wasn't anything broken and there was no black eyes. When they got home.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so, so this particular night, we're just chilling in the living room. We hear a knock at the door. I'm like, what the fuck? And my brother answers the door, and it's two of his buddies. And they're like, "Oh, you guys want to come out with us? We're just walking around, probably gonna smoke some pot." Which
No, not at all.
I had never even been around that when I was in sixth grade. So, anyways,
Sixth
so
grade.
so
How old were you? Sixth grade?
I don't fucking know.
12, 13 probably? No, older than that.
No, you're 14 when you're a freshman.
Freshman in high school?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. Are you 14?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah, 100%.
Night. What?
14,
I was definitely
15 sophomore, 16
18.
junior, 17. I graduated when I was
I
17.
graduated when I was 18.
I wasn't 18 yet.
I was 18.
My birthday is in
anyways.
July.
So
Anyway,
you're
so-
probably 12, 11, 12.
Young. Anyways,
I
so
started smoking at 12 is why I asked.
so we decided to go out with them, and we walked out of our neighborhood and down the road onto the main drag, and one of the kids were like, "Oh, have you ever heard of loggage?" It's like I didn't say anything because I'm, the little young kid. My brother's like, "No," and so they proceeded to then take firewood from a house that was on the side of that road and just throw it into the middle of the road in different places.
Loggage?
That's what they called it. And then they figured that we'd go on the airport park side and look at the road and watch cars hit these split piece of wood, that somebody was going to put in their fire.
Yeah, I'm following.
Stupid kid shit. Because obviously now that, once you learn how to drive and you're like, dude, I'm obviously going to see that big piece of wood in the middle of the road. Like, I'm not going to hit it.
Oh,
You're not going to see this
right.
car get airborne like you think as a fucking child. So,
I've got a cool one for that.
so anyways, we're doing that, and some cars swerve around it, and next thing we know, there's a car that pulls over, and he gets out, and he's got a flashlight, and we run to the woods, and this is also the night that I learned that your eyes are reflective, because at that young, you never think about shit like that. So I'm with those kids, and when the flashlights come in the woods, they're like, "Shut your eyes. When flashlight comes, shut your eyes, because you can see the reflections." So we were doing that, shutting our eyes, and then the flashlight goes, "Shut your eyes," So, and then we think we're in the clear, and then a cop car rolls up. You see the lights, and fucking in the woods, fuck, and you see the guy going to
Fucked up now.
talk to the cop, and then the flashlights, and we ended up running out the other side of the woods and walking back to our house. And we got in our house, and we put our PJs back on, and we just got the TV on, and we see blue lights going down my road with the cop car just going slow. And we watch it go by the house, and just a big sigh of relief, But as a kid, like, that's the stupidest shit ever. Like, it's just something that I remember. I wrote that down for one of the episodes. That's why I figured I know that it was a really shitty transition of whatever the fuck we were talking about before. And then I was like, so remember when I was like 10?
So I got a cool story. We did something similar to that. So we built a full life-size dummy, and it weighed like 100 pounds. And we would throw the dummy on the cars in the middle of the night, and they lock up and get out. What the fuck? And then we'd get our dummy back, and we'd do it to another car. And one night when we got it taken,
Was this the Bad Child movie? Are you doing what I was doing earlier? Macaulay Culkin throwing the body off the bridge onto the cars?
basically, but it was right here.
Have
in
you seen that?
No,
It's, yeah.
it was right here on Porter's Point Road. We did it right by the school. We were right there.
You were just throwing the dummy into the street?
No, on the cars.
Oh,
like,
onto
the
cars.
hood. Make it look like somebody was like landing on your car. And
How heavy was that dummy?
Like 100 pounds.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to imagine,
heavy.
like, as you're throwing it.
It was like me, Savage, Freddie. It was a bunch of us. And
Shit, man, I haven't been naming names.
whatever. That was so many years ago. It was when they were building. It was when they were building
Was
Well,
that Matt
it's now
Monahan kid?
next to the um, next to the store that's for sale, next to Forest Point School.
Oh
They were
yeah,
just
yeah,
barely building all those
yeah.
places.
Where
So
the protesters moved out real quick.
I have no idea.
Really? That same, it was the Big Apple Deli,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they're like super Trump supporters and all that, and they went to that rally or whatever
Oh
where
yeah,
they stormed the Capitol,
yeah.
and then I think they got chased out of here real quick, like because it was open one day and gone the next, and they had
Um,
no reason of shutting down. Like I had talked to them the week before.
no, they had reason to shut down.
Well, they
Absolutely.
were getting threats too, I think, from the
Uh,
community
no. I
wanting that.
mean, you call what? So I'm good friends with Pat Brennan, who
Okay,
owns
yeah,
the
yeah. Who
store.
owns
Yeah.
the building? Not the. He didn't own
They
that
just
food
didn't.
shop.
They didn't have. They just, to me, they didn't have the right setup.
Hmm.
And Pat and I just talked about this the other week, actually, because I was looking at the building. I was thinking about opening up a pizza joint or a breakfast spot or something, because it's fairly cheap rent. Actually, it's only like $1,300 a month. And if you do your player cards right, $1,300 a month is super cheap these
You know,
days.
I'm a sandwich guy, and like, there's no. I have to go to Essex Colonial Mart to get a good
Yeah.
sandwich from here,
I mean,
and that's
I
why I
went-
liked them. And they used boarhead's meat, and the guy cooked his own roast beef. It was a good, like, a pretty good recipe.
they did good, but
Yeah, but
they went to
their
New York every
politics
Monday. They
were
went
a
to New
little.
York every Monday to get rolls.
Right.
Like,
And they did it during the pandemic too, and people fucking called them out on it.
whatever. I just don't know why you would. Why would you do? You're setting yourself up for failure if that's what you gotta rely on.
Because that's what they thought was the best bread.
It wasn't. It
No,
wasn't.
it wasn't. It wasn't even that good. You're
It
right.
wasn't that special.
I like the fucking Parker House roll or whatever the fuck Colonial Mart uses. It's not
Yep.
like fresh baked bread anymore. I don't think.
So to finish that little story, we were throwing the dummies and they were building the buildings. Well, the cop showed up and I had ran across the field and forgot that they were digging the basements in those houses. So I ran right into the basement. It was I couldn't get out. I was like freaking out because I couldn't get out. I couldn't climb out of the fucking thing. It was.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So it was kind of on the similar lines of throwing wood, but we got caught or we never got caught. Actually, I take that back. We never got caught because I was in a hole. They couldn't find me in a hole.
Yeah. So, with it being Halloween coming up, I have a little Halloween question for you. Because, I mean, me personally, Halloween.
Were you a cabbage night guy?
Well, yeah, that's kind of where.
Oh,
No,
so
I wish I was, but I was not allowed to be out on Cabbage Night because my parents knew what kind of trouble we'd get into.
Oh,
My
we
brother,
did.
so we weren't allowed that night. So Halloween night when we were trick or treating was our Cabbage Night.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you my story after. Do you have any like crazy
Oh,
when
my
you were a
God.
kid, like what you guys
Oh,
did?
my
And
God.
yeah, see,
You know
like
Tommy?
really,
You know
really
Tom-
good. Yeah, yeah.
You know Tommy?
You talk Bruno?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to blow up his mailbox every cabbage night. That was our thing.
Yeah.
That was Tony, me, and Bruce. Tony's now, rest in peace.
I
Tony
th-
Bover.
I thought
passed
about
away.
this topic last night and was going to write it down in my notes for this podcast and spaced on it. And this morning I was like, Winnie the Pooh going, think,
Oh
Keith,
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
And I really didn't remember
We
it until
literally-
just now with us
We
talking.
M80'd his mailbox every year. We would blow up his mailbox. We ran it over. I mean,
That was every Halloween.
Oh my God! It was a tradition. It literally like tradition. Like his parents, they all knew who did it. Like nobody hid it. When Tony was alive, you ever know Tony?
I
Bover?
did not.
Tony.
I'm too old, man. The only reason I know all of you guys that
You know
I met.
Nick Reed?
Yeah, he was actually in my grade.
Yeah. So Nick Reed was his brother.
Okay, but I only know because I did training with Butters, and then I met Jesse through Butters.
Well, you grew up in Colchester.
Yeah, but I'm way older.
What does that matter?
Because I
How
never
old are
hung
you?
out with young kids.
How old are you?
38.
You're what? 5 years older than I am. That's not
Right.
way older, bud.
Right, but did you hang out when you were a senior?
Yes.
You knew the people that were in 8th grade?
Absolutely.
Really, I
Jesse,
didn't.
all them. Oh yeah.
Oh, were they? You're
Absolutely.
like, yeah, that's Jesse.
Jesse's still my friend.
Yeah. No, see, I didn't. I wasn't like that. That I
Jesse-
only hung out with the
Jesse's-
people that were
How old
older
is
than
Jesse?
me.
24.
I have no idea.
I think he's 24 and I'm 33.
I'd like to switch
Yeah.
ages with him.
Yeah, no, not me. I had enough of those years.
Uh,
I was in a machine shop, like you were at IBM.
yeah.
No, I'm all set.
That's one thing I can say is ever since I left IBM Global Foundries, my depression's been the best. Like I used to,
Oh, yeah.
once a week, I
Yeah.
would have 2 days that I just slept in my
Hands
room
down.
and don't fucking talk to me. I was miserable.
Yep.
And
No, I
then
was
I
too.
got off that.
Yeah. Why do you want? I got sick of the 9 to 5. I didn't like the 9 to 5. Fuck you, 9 to 5. I'll take 6 to 6 and be happier than 9 to 5 any day.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Halloween.
Yeah.
So my Halloween, it was one year in particular that was the worst, and that's the most memorable. So it was me, my buddy Sean. I shouldn't be naming names. And my buddy Aaron,
First names are fun.
Matt, I think, and a few other people. I can't recall. Anyways, so the first thing that was majorly fucked up is that two of the people that were with us had paintball guns,
Oh yeah.
and they were paintballing houses,
Oh yeah.
right? So that was one thing that was going on.
We TP'd so many houses.
The
that
other
wasn't funny.
the other thing that we had going on is we had a lot of those the little red firecrackers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what they were called.
You
But
undid
you
them
just-
from the thing.
Yeah, no. But we would just light that and have them all go.
Oh, no.
So
We were dumb. We took them individually with the fast wicks and tried to light them, throw them, blow up in your hand.
So that was another thing that we had with us. So this is we're getting there. And then I had another friend who had a fanny pack on, and inside the
packs
fanny
are never
pack,
good.
he had a bottle that was filled with gasoline, and it was a bottle like a water bottle that had the mouthpiece that sprayed, like if you were spraying in your mouth.
Yeah.
So that was filled with gasoline, and he had matches and a long grill lighter.
So
as
whose
well.
fucking house did you burn down?
Okay. So the first thing that was happening is we paintballed a few houses, and then we went over to another development, and then the kid that had the fanny pack and the gasoline and all that shit, the reason he got it is because he thought it was really cool to write your name in gasoline and light it on fire.
Oh,
So in the middle of the road, he writes his name out and sets it on fire, and we leave. Well, that's still fucking burning. We go down a hill to the back of a house where there's a bunch of girls jumping on a trampoline, and it wasn't me. I don't know who it was. Went down and lit one of those firecracker rows, right off, and then we fucking ran. We're going back up the hill towards where we had originally set the fire name in the street, which didn't work out. It didn't look like his name, by the way.
I was gonna say,
But
yeah, never.
anyways,
Yeah.
so
You have to do it really big.
so we're going up the hill. There's like 5, 6 of us, and I hear 2 bike cops. Like at this time, they were pedal bike cops, and I was like, "Shh, cops are behind us." And we hear the cops go, "Shh, the cops are behind you." And we're like, "Fuck!" So they get us to all stop, and they're going through all our shit. And the first thing that they find is my buddy's, fanny pack that's got the gasoline, blah 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 blah, and they're questioning him, and know that it was him that set the fire in the road, all that stupid shit.
What's happening? Sorry, this guy wanted to go live. So
Hey,
I
what's
brought
up?
him on real quick.
Can you hear him?
Oh, first live, he said. Oh shit! So you just
If
got...
you put the mic of your phone right here,
Yeah.
we'd be able to hear him on the podcast.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, I know it
I can
works,
try.
but
Yeah. Here we go.
there we go. Now everybody on my podcast can hear you now. What's your name, brother?
My name's Ben. They call me Axeman. I'm a wildland firefighter from Oregon.
Yo, what up, Ben? I don't know if you could be called Axeman because we're big Street Outlaws fans, and Axeman has already been taken.
Don't listen to him.
Nice to meet you. My name is Keith. You're on Lowered
Well,
Morals
you know,
podcast.
It does show right here. See, I got to learn how to work this thingy right here, but I think I hit this one. Yeah, oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
What we got
They
here?
call me Axeman. Axeman on the red bag.
Yeah, it's official, man. It's official. We'll give it to you. Hey, brother, you got to keep that mic to your mouth too.
I just got off fire 2 days ago, so I got 2 days R&R, and then so I go available today at noon. I can be called out any day.
Yeah, God bless. Thank you. You're a better man than me. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, I just got off. I've been on fire since July, the 4th of July weekend. I've been home now 8 days, and since then,
Have you
so
had?
I've been on 5 fires. We're trying to keep the U.S. from burning.
Yeah, no shit. Thank you.
That's a crazy career.
Yeah, definitely a crazy career.
Yep. Well,
tough.
I couldn't. I made some mistakes when I was a kid, and I wasn't able to join the services, which I would have loved to do. So I figured, why not become a wildland firefighter? I know it's not what our men and women in the services go through, but I'm fighting for my country in some sense.
Yeah, I can definitely relate with doing stuff, stupid shit when you were younger. I went through that myself with a hard opiate career, 11 and a half years or so. So I've been there, done that. I don't know if that's where you were going with that you screwed up when you were younger, but
Yeah,
or if it was.
I've been clean since October 18th, 2002.
That's awesome.
I had an addiction too, and I know it sucks, and I kind of ruined some of my life a little bit, but I just strive to be better and better every day.
Absolutely,
and I'm a single father of 4 boys, and so it keeps me going every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, man, dude.
That's kind of what this podcast started out as, kind of our addictions growing up.
Can you hear Matt?
Yeah.
And where we are now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of that's what his podcast is. I'm just friends with him and kind of come on and I have the same theories, same problems, same addictions, and now I get to sell weed legally.
That's right.
Ironically, but we're up in Vermont, so we're on the other end of the
Vermont.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, so you guys do podcasts for what do you guys do? I just went and picked somebody. I saw the beard, so that's why I picked. That's why I picked the dual thing.
Yeah. So this is my podcast called Lowered Morals. It's basically, when we've done shit like that, like we were talking about using in the past, we're just kind of telling some stories that were either really funny when you were under the influence or crazy. And we're not like promoting, like romanticizing about that life. Just trying to bring some humor of stupid shit situations that we got ourselves into while we were being stupid, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about.
Well, you got a lot of followers. You got a lot of people that get good stuff from you.
He's got way more than me. I'm just starting up.
So
I've been really sick the last couple of years and had a bunch of surgeries. So we're I'm just starting.
Sorry to hear that.
That's all right, man.
I originally started off as a CV company, and I got banned from a lot of places, so I switched it up to my racing. So I race stock cars here locally and help out a bunch of people. And so I've got, between everything, I mean, I've probably got, I don't know, I'm not no famous anybody. 50,000 followers between this and Instagram, probably.
Oh wow!
My original.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
My original TikTok got taken down and it had 60,000 followers, but because it was cannabis related, they took it down.
Oh wow!
And you will.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the technology thing, and my oldest son, told me about TikTok, so I did it and created an account, and I use it for the fires. So all my videos are on the line firefighting, and since the 4th of July weekend, I got 1,000, I think, and 1,004 followers right now. So
that's awesome.
They all liking the fires.
Nice. Well, yeah. Ironically, like and dislike them, right?
That it is. It's a double-edged sword. Without fires, I wouldn't be making money, but without the fires, we wouldn't be burning down.
And without fire, I wouldn't be smoking weed.
That's
yeah, just so you know.
Well, I really appreciate you guys letting me jump on with you guys. Like I said, I'm new at this. I don't even know how this works. I'm still trying to figure out my screen and all that. But I appreciate
you
you guys
go to
letting me jump
YouTube.
on. And hey, I really appreciate you giving out your testimony. And whether it's funny or crazy or whatever, somebody might hear something and might decide to change.
Sure. For
keep it up. Good job.
Yeah, and if you want to check this out, you can go to Lowered Morals on YouTube, and this episode will be up as well. You'll be on it.
Lowered Morals.
Lowered Morals. Yep. If you search that on
Okay.
YouTube, you can subscribe and watch the podcast, and you'll be on it. Like I
All right.
said, this episode.
I will check it out.
Cool,
I will
man.
definitely check it out.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Thanks for
All right,
seeing
you
us.
guys.
Stay
I gotta
safe.
take off, man.
Stay safe.
All right, brother. Yeah. Stay safe.
Take it easy, brother.
Yo. So that was pretty cool.
That was very cool.
Never had that on the podcast yet. I actually was doing a podcast that a friend had called me, and I did put him up to the mic and talk to him like that, but he said some shit that I shouldn't couldn't hear, so that never came out. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up the podcast. I got a doctor's appointment coming up.
That's 1:45.
Yeah, time flew.
Holy
Thank
shit.
you very much, Matt. Do you have anything to promote? Go ahead and promote.
BostonGreenHealth.com, NolverBeauty.com. I don't know if they'll be able to see the T-shirt I got on, but
Yeah, they'll probably see it.
hopefully they can.
It's a full view of both of us from the waist up.
But it says my cough is not from the coronavirus, and it's something that I started about 5 weeks ago. Sold about 90 of them so far.
Nice.
So yeah, NolverBeauty.com, NOLVER.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm Keith J. Bergeron, Lowered Moral Podcast at gmail.com. If you want to write in, Lowered Morals on YouTube. Subscribe, help us out and subscribe. That'd be awesome. We are also sponsored by Good Ink Tattooing in Waterbury, Vermont. Give a shout out to Corey Barrett, my tattoo artist. Love you, brother. And this has been Lowered Morals Podcast. Peace.
Peace.